Yesterday, Titleist invited me to come check out the new SM10 Vokey wedges. There's a lot of different nuances that they decided to input into these new wedges to give the experience a little bit more of a tour feel. So a lot of the changes that the tour players wanted to see from the SM9s to the SM10s are now implemented in these new wedges. I got fit for new wedges. I want you to check out the whole experience. So I have last year's models. I have SM9s all around. I did get a couple fun ones. So I got a K grind in the low bounce, so it's a wider sole, a little bit more forgiving, but it's only 6 degrees of bounce. And I got a 4 degree of bounce 60. And I love off tight lies, but I don't have a 60 that allows me some forgiveness. So I'm looking for maybe some more bounce in my wedges. I got a 56 S grind I use mainly for fairway shots, 3/4 wedge shots. I got a 52 F grind. F grind's really good for gap wedges because usually that's your full swing club. Your full swing shaft should be in there as well, so like a good iron shaft should be in there too to match it. I'm mainly looking for something I can use around the green and that will get me the right turf interaction. That's the toughest part when you buy wedges. You can't always just buy a wedge off the rack. As you're learning the game, you'll find out that there's a way that you like to hit the golf ball best when you're around the green. And sometimes the way the club's built doesn't allow for that forgiveness for whatever your miss could be. So we're gonna try to figure that out today. Now, the team at Titleist came out to Twin Creeks Country Club here just north of Austin, Texas, and they have every shaft you could think of, every model iron head. They had all the woods, but mainly we were here for the wedges, so we got right into it. Now, typically, you can expect to start warming up with a few swings. The Titleist professional staff will be there talking with you through the wedges that you currently have, checking out your bag, but then also having a few wedges in mind just to start to get your baseline feel for the different grinds and lofts.
We just started our wedge fitting, and the first thing that I'm noticing when I'm watching Francis hit is his ball flight has a tendency to reach his apex very, very fast, right? There's a term in club fitting called ballooning, right? So if you grab a balloon right field with helium, you just let it go. Where's it going to go? Straight up. So if his golf ball is going straight up really, really fast, he's going to be losing some distance. His spin's going to be a little out of control, and it's going to be really hard to gauge how far his clubs are really going because he just hit one, if you want to look at this, he just hit one that went 134, right? Really good shot, but it only had 3,000 spin. But then previously he hit one that went 122, but it had almost 6,000 spin, right? That's that guessing game. So that's where right bounce, right shaft, and right golf ball are all going to contribute to getting it more predictable and more consistent. That's the 08 in your hand, or is that the 12?
This is the 08.
Okay. So
I felt the dig a couple times. If I do throw,
yeah,
that toe kind of
cast
digs
it
in.
a little
Yep,
bit.
yep.
Okay.
But when I hit it well, it's fine.
Do you play your clubs a little upright?
So all my clubs right now are too flat.
Okay.
They're too flat.
Okay. If you feel like, and I don't need to break down TrackMan for you, you know how all that stuff works. But if you feel like you're getting a little toe heavy, taking your club a little upright might not be a bad idea.
Okay.
With wedges, it's not as important. I look at the 50 degree as an extension of the iron set.
Okay.
Right. So like whatever your iron specs are is what I would match in your 50 because we're taking more full shots with them.
Okay.
But when we get down to your 55 and your 60, right, there's a lot more finesse that goes on there. We're not taking as many full shots. So trying to keep things as standard as possible is more of a priority.
Okay.
But as of now, so you're hitting the 08 now and you're feeling it dig a little.
Yeah.
I want you to hit the 12 a little.
Okay.
We'll get some numbers on that.
It's crazy to think that it's like, it doesn't seem to be a very big number, but especially with like a better ball striker, I feel like you'd be able to feel these differences a lot more. So we'll see what happens. It definitely looks more flat too.
So when I give you an 8 bounce, you're continuing to dig and dig and dig and dig into the turf. It's almost producing like it sounds loud. When you're hitting a 12 bounce, the leading edge isn't as sharp. Your ball isn't riding up the face as much. You're hitting it in the couple grooves on the bottom that we want you to. I like you in 12 versus 8.
Me too. I like
Sound good?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so now we'll transition into, this is where it gets a little more particular, right, with your 56 and your 60. Your current, you said you had a 54 or 56
I got
right
a
now?
56 S grind.
Okay.
10 degree bounce S grind.
And what are your strengths you like about it right now, and what would you like in your next one?
One thing that stands out for sure with my 56 is that like I know that I could hit like a 95 or 96 yard shot just on call with a 3/4 56 degree wedge, little swing, and that feels really good to me. I could use it out of the bunker. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the short game is a little bit better with the 10 degree of bounce over. I have a 4 degree T grind, and I also have a 6 degree, which is that the K grind low bounce.
Yeah, low bounce K.
Both of those, I feel like I struggle a little bit when I'm trying to get around the green. But as far as like full swings and stuff, like 56, it's my go-to. Like I'll use that for 3/4 to full swing shots. And I feel really good with the numbers on there.
Okay.
But I've never really messed around with a different type of grind. And I like to use a 56 around the green when I can.
That's a good thing.
So I've never thought about trying a D or trying any other kind of grind or a half. Yeah.
So with the new SM10s, we actually, after the SM6s, I believe, we got rid of the 5408M grind.
Okay.
And since as time has gone on in the golfing world, right, iron lofts have progressively gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And so we're seeing a lot more people going towards a 50, 54, 58 combo, and the 60s kind of becoming the forgotten child in the lineup. We have since brought back the 5408. Lower, it's a little lower bounce, right? So it's a good idea for where we live in Austin, right? Firm. But in your case, if you use it out of bunkers quite a bit, it sounds like your 56 is a little bit of your workhorse. Like it's got to wear a lot of different hats, right? So in my mind, that immediately kicks out our F grind. That's 14 bounce. That's only the F stands for full shots, right? That's why we have it in your 50 degree. Don't need to even bother with it, especially if you're using it around the greens. The S grind is going to be a really good option for you, and then the other one that would be good is the D, right? So that's 12 bounce instead of 10. Right. But it's got the sole of it is shaved on the toe and the heel to help you manipulate the club face. So if you want to open golf shots, use it out of bunkers, etc. Let me go grab those two.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's good to know because I usually use the S grind, and I have that in SM9. So if I could have another option, especially if I go play somewhere where it's softer, that could be the thing.
Yeah, that's the one you're gaming now.
Okay, cool. So let's start off with the S. Do you like the 56 and 60 to sit more flat typically? Do you guys Yeah, like would you do you like seeing that?
Okay. I think
so that's something I might want to do with the 56 and 60 for sure. Absolutely. Especially if I'm opening up the face a lot.
We're definitely gonna go, if you go 2 degrees flat on your irons right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go 2 degrees flat on your 50 and maybe half a degree or 1 degree on your 56 and 60.
That was like when I was go from there.
Like butter, so.
Yeah, okay. I used to play all my wedges 1 degree flat anyway. I feel like when I play really well, when I hit wedges really well, I'm trapping them and I'm trying to flight them, but I'll get steep, as you could probably tell, and I'll try to take more divot, more dirt. So I don't like to feel like the grass is stopping me from finishing my swing. Yeah. And just in one swing already, I feel like this is a little bit smoother.
That's great.
I've heard about it. I mean, I don't pick wedges like that usually.
So yeah, so one of the biggest things that help contribute to the new way that people attack wedges is TrackMan, right? People actually have concrete data and numbers to help support. Because I remember just like 10 years ago when I started playing golf, everybody was like, okay, to get spin, you hit way down on it, you take big divots, all that stuff. And as time has gone on, it's the opposite. You get really steep, but you try not to take a divot. You actually want to use the bounce of the club.
Across the board?
It's crazy.
So this could be
one different.
This could help then?
Absolutely. It'll help you prioritize putting spin in the right places, doing it the right way, instead of the old school way of doing it.
A little bit of a stuck swing, but...
So you tend to favor the D over the S is what I'm hearing?
I think so.
Do a couple different flighted shots, right? So you said you use it around the greens quite a bit. Give me a shot there just 30 yards out to that short right white flag. There you go. Did you hear that thump?
Yeah.
That's good. Here, use one of these.
Yeah, no, that's looking at it. I think in some cases I might hit that a little thin or a little chunky with that.
Kind of protecting it a little?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely protecting it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's smooth. I feel like I can just turn.
Look at that. What is that, 6 inches?
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'll take it. I'm not even really trying. I think sometimes I'll get scared, not knowing how it's going to interact.
Almost flip at it. What am I trying to...
Because I'm really good at beer pong and cornhole. I feel like if I just do that with my wedges, I should be able to
Decel, that's what I was looking for.
Decel, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm not even trying to get in there.
Okay, cool. So I'm sold on the D grind for sure.
All right.
Sold.
So then 60 that you're gaming now, you
I got a couple options. They were kind of I just wanted to have them to try out.
Yeah.
It's good that I have them, but like I was just over there in some of those, the winter thin lies, like really tough, grainy.
yeah.
I probably chunked or thinned half the shots with the T grind right now, and I don't know if that's what would a tour player play. Would they go more bounce, less bounce? Would they go wider sole, thinner sole?
So that's the beauty of wedges, right? There's no one right answer.
Okay.
So Justin Thomas is the example I typically use here. So in our wedge lineup, we have our higher bounce options and then we have our lower bounce options, right? So the K grind, 14 bounce, really big thick sole. It's really geared towards like you golf up in the northeast or the north where the ground is really soft, right? You don't want to be taking big beaver pelts. And then the other wedge that he uses is our T grind, which has kind of it's exploded on the internet right now. It's low bounce, but it's maximum versatility. So Justin will change his wedges based on the course conditions that he's at. The K grind is kind of a black sheep in our lineup because it's the one wedge that everybody has such contrasting opinions on. Some guys absolutely swear by it, and then other guys won't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's why coming to get fit and messing between both of them is so important.
Right. Okay.
We're gonna hit both of them.
Okay.
Your 60, obviously, you use it out of the traps.
Yeah, I use other shots.
Probably when you're short-sided.
Definitely.
So versatility is going to be a priority here.
Right.
Let me go grab a couple options.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not opposed to you having two different kinds of 60s.
Right,
Because
just to
playing
figure
golf
out.
now versus in like July, very, very different.
Even here it's different. Yeah.
100%. Let's start with the M grind. Okay. So it's a good word to start. It's kind of in the middle. 8 bounce, versatility, shaved on the toe and the heel. It's kind of the Swiss Army knife of wedges. It does a lot of things very exceptionally.
I mean, that's the one hard part with being more aggressive on thinness of face is you will see some of that because inevitably the thinner things are that could tend to happen.
Right.
Heavy.
Yep.
I'll get his.
There it is. Did you hear that?
Oh, that was so much better.
That was clean.
Actually, small.
The guys on tour said, "Hey, we haven't really lost any of our non-contract players."
Like
to-
that was
to
clean.
competitive
Probably the
drivers
best swing for sure out of those three.
this year.
Yeah, I'd agree.
No TS.
Dude, well, like I'm pumped. Like that was super cool. It was really good to see like what goes into a proper wedge fitting, not just somebody with a bunch of different kind of wedges on a range. Definitely learned a lot. I know we're gonna bring this to the team, and hopefully y'all get a time to book with your local Titleist club fitter. If you're in Austin, Texas, I'm gonna drop these guys down at the bottom of the video. You'll get a link to it. You can get a link to book your wedge fitting, club fitting, driver fitting, whatever you want. Titleist has got your back.